Okay, welcome back to another episode of Aftermatch Aftermath.
Hi.
Just Craig and James again, but we are here to talk about the Burnley game. Literally
Ah.
minutes from watching it. Initial reaction?
It's one of disappointment. I was hoping for another home win. I guess we've been blessed so far this season with all home wins. So to drop points at home for the first time is a bit disappointing so close to the end, especially in what was for largely such a one-sided game. What did you think?
Yeah, echo that sentiment really. Really disappointing. Like, it's not only disappointing to have that first loss at home, but to lose in the way that we did
loss.
as well.
Not yet.
Not get the win.
First loss of points.
Yeah, lots of points. In the way that we did is just massively disappointing. I mean, when we take a look at the stats in a minute, that'll show. But really, I felt like it was quite a one-sided game in Liverpool's favour, and we're just very unfortunate not to take the 3 points there.
Yeah, sort of a mix of being unfortunate and just really not putting any of the many chances to bed. Do you want to have a look through those? Should we have a look at the team sheet first? So our initial.
Yeah, go on.
So I must admit, I think after the Henderson injury, I think I was expecting Fabinho, Wijnaldum and Naby to start in midfield. I was very surprised that Jones got a start, but I mean, credit to him. He scored a cracking goal the other day. Did well this little cameo. I must admit, I was astonished that Williams started for the second game in a row, but to be fair to him, I'm sure we'll come back to him later. I get it, give Trent a bit of a rest, and to be fair, play in his more natural right back position, which is good. More game time for him. Don't know where that puts him at appearance. Is it that might be his 5th appearance in the league, but I might be wrong.
Yeah, I think he's good for a medal now. I'd have to check, but I think he is. I think Curtis Jones is on 4 now, so I think he needs one more.
Okay.
But yeah, so Curtis Jones, I think, first of all, I think he probably has deserved to start. I'm not like hugely shocked that he got one, but I am shocked that he played Nico Williams and Curtis Jones starting together, because it does slightly weaken the side having 2 of the younger players on.
And I did feel that.
Yeah, go on.
I was just saying, it's only that I think it was maybe a few press conferences ago where Klopp was saying someone asked him about playing the younger squad members to try and get medals, and he says he's not how he works at all. He said he will see who's available and he will pick the best team. He's not just going to give matches to kids when there's a better team that can play. I'd question that a little bit today. I mean, I feel like I'm not saying that they didn't deserve to start. I mean, and they absolutely deserve game time. Do I think he could have put out a better team today? Yes.
I think you can make an argument for Nico Williams starting just because Trent maybe did need a rest, but there's Keita. There's no reason for Keita to be rested. He definitely could have started today. So if you're talking about stronger sides going out, then there was definitely a stronger side there.
Yeah.
However, I don't think the first half, which is what they played for the majority, I think that was the better half for Liverpool. So
yeah, well, it was like sort of like chance after chance after chance, really. I know you messaged me and said it's getting closer, and to be fair, it did seem to be, though. They seem to be all over, creating lots of chances. I'm trying to think. Firmino hit the post. Was that the second half? Or was it the first half? I can't remember.
Second half, Firmino hit the post, but he had 2 clear chances in the first half. Mo had certainly 1 clear chance, but he had a couple. And Mane had a chance. And Curtis Jones as well. That was the first half as well. it was absolutely relentless. I thought maybe even for the first 60 minutes, I thought it was relentless from Liverpool.
I know,
It's
they
just
were
really annoying.
all over them. Especially for the front three, how they didn't manage to get a goal between them today, I don't know.
I know, madness. I mean, to be honest, it's largely due to Pope's performance.
Yeah. So I don't know who's England number one is at the moment, but well then
I'd hope it's
here's
not
your
Jordan
guy.
Pickford.
Here's your guy.
Certainly be getting considered ahead of.
Play that man.
So stats wise, 70% possession for Liverpool, which is becoming a common number, to be honest. And in terms of shots, this is the real kicker. 6 total shots for Burnley, 23 total shots for Liverpool.
23.
This is just mad.
How many of them are on target?
9 shots on target for Liverpool.
That's a pretty solid. I mean, testing Pope certainly there.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, there was also many shots where I feel like they were probably closer to hitting the top roof of Anfield than going in goal.
Certainly, I remember one of those.
Yeah.
Oh God.
But wow, I can't believe it. It was, and I think, well, we'll start with the good. I would say Robbo. We'll come back to Robbo, but had a phenomenal game for me. I feel like he was.
I agree.
He when he didn't have his mate, his buddy Alexander Arnold on the opposite wing for a large time, he was all over the place. He was tracking back excellently, and I think, like, very surprisingly, if you go to his goal, which is something to, like, a bit of a collector's item itself, because I'm trying to think of his goals. I know he scored a header running in against, was it Aston Villa?
I remember the header. I remember the goal.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what game it was.
Yeah, I think he came running in from the side against Aston Villa to level it out with like 4 minutes left or something, and then Mane pops up a few minutes later. But wow, what a goal! And I think it was he was much further out than what I initially thought, and it was absolutely cracking header. He placed it really well, because it looked to be like that was. It looked like I'm less convinced he. I don't know. I feel like he was just trying to head it into a dangerous area, because I think there was maybe Mo and Bobby sort of like running in there.
I think it was Mane and Firmino. Yeah.
So I feel like he maybe wanted one of them to get on the end of it, but then it went straight in. And to be fair, I mean, okay, great, absolutely delighted for him. Great goal. And I feel like if you think about it, from what I was just saying, if you think of where the goal was, he came in then off the right wing. He was on the right-hand side of the box.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah. So he somehow had managed to, I think, play a cracking game at left back and then score a goal by running in from the right-hand side. So that was a pretty impressive play there. And I feel like Liverpool didn't really switch off after that. I mean, they kept pressing. They just didn't really seem to have the scoring boots on. They certainly had the shooting boots on. But
yeah, again, it was chance after chance. I don't know. I'm just really disappointed, to be honest. Robertson, by the way, he looked like his old self again. So maybe that half a game rest did him good, because he's been a bit dodgy the last couple of games. But yeah, he had an amazing game just overall. But yeah, leading up to half time, I thought, despite the fact there was no more goals, things were looking positive.
Absolutely. But going in, I mean, I said, like, I really, really wanted that second goal, because 1-0's always such a worrying scoreline. And the thing is about these teams, the teams that come away to Anfield and want to play to try and defend and just try to soak up the pressure and maybe nick a goal on the counter or something, or from a set piece, which we'll come to. That it's what was it? I'm trying to think what I was trying to say. It's that I mean, because Burnley probably would have gone in at half time thinking, if we can nick a goal here, because they're not really. Liverpool's front three aren't really at the races. I mean, they're peppering us with shots, but but I feel like they would have gone in with a bit of confidence. They would have probably taken 1-0 at half time.
I do think though, it wasn't a case of like, I mean, don't get me wrong, some of the shots were a bit wild, but a number of them were in the second half. I feel like they were solid shots on goal. Like, it was just incredible, the ability from Pope to keep some of them out. I remember like Mo's one where he dove backwards into his own goal to just like pour it round the post. Like, unbelievable. Like, I can't believe that didn't go in, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like for every bad shot that Liverpool had, there was also a cracking save by Pope.
Yeah.
So
you could have a highlight reel just from that first half alone.
Yeah. I mean, it was an absolutely phenomenal performance by Pope, like I will say that. I still feel like Liverpool should have got it done. But, yeah, absolutely. And then... So, I must admit, so I feel like it was definitely always part of the game plan to take Williams off and Jones.
Mm-hmm. I was expecting that at half-time, to be honest. But...
Yeah, I mean, personally, I probably would have either expected it at half-time or I'll have to look back, but I think recently Klopp tends to like the 60th minute.
Yeah, it was 69 minutes in, he made the double change.
So, personally, I would have made that sooner.
Yeah.
Because I felt like there's like 20 minutes, just over 20 minutes left, and I felt like I probably would have done it. I would have done it sooner. So to get Alexander-Arnold and Keita back, like give them a bit more time to get in and affect the game. So I was a bit annoyed about that, and then pretty much as soon as the substitution happened, there was that free kick that I believe. I mean, I didn't see a replay of it, but I believe you said that it was an incorrect decision.
Yeah, the actual free kick was given incorrectly. They checked, the VAR check for the goal was an offside check, which it was an offside, so it was a goal. It's just a little bit frustrating that the free kick shouldn't have actually happened in the first place. So it feels a little bit
unjust
of an undeserved, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
annoying.
Absolutely, because Burnley didn't really look like threatening at all for a large part of the game.
And then after that goal, they sort of came alive a little bit, and then it got panicky. But yeah, I think they probably felt like there was not enough.
Until then, Liverpool like certainly seemed to look a bit like I think they were all a bit shell shocked. But yeah, I think Burnley were like, hold on a minute, lads, we've got a goal here. And then Liverpool were like, hold on a minute, lads, they've got a goal here. So it was all a bit, so it's annoying that it was potentially a free kick that shouldn't have been. I think the Premier League have had a bit of a bad week, because I think I remember reading that it was like one day where it was like 3 penalty calls were all incorrect.
Yeah,
I think it was penalty calls.
What did you think about that challenge on Robbo in the box?
I must admit that was when I was experiencing technical difficulties, so I didn't catch it.
I mean, I'll be honest, it probably wasn't a penalty. I think it was a very close. I think it was one of them calls where, like, if the referee had given it as a penalty, VAR wouldn't have overturned it, but because he didn't give it, and it was, I think, it's too close to call kind of thing. They probly made the right decision.
There's one of them. I mean, I don't want to sound bitter, but I mean, if you're Man United, you're getting a penalty like every game at the moment. So it's so I feel like
Liverpool are due a penalty.
I mean, they say, the time Liverpool spend in the box, I do feel like there's been that many sort of not solid penalty claims, but there's been a lot of not solid penalty claims recently, and they've turned out to be penalties. So I feel like Liverpool certainly must be due one of these like 50-50 penalty decisions to do them to go their way at some point. So yeah, it's annoying. It was sort of like one of those where you couldn't really see it happen, and I must admit I was annoyed that I felt the substitutions for Williams and Jones were later. And then trailing, like, I thought, like, right, back back then I thought it was annoying. It sort of like threw the whole thing off, because then it's 1-1 and you need a goal.
Yeah.
And then it was wait 10 minutes and bring on Ox, who in my opinion hasn't done it for me since the restart at all.
I was really shocked that I brought Ox on.
Why, like, with the options there, and I'm sat there going like, come on, go for the win. I feel like that was a misstep for me. I feel like that was a very questionable and, in my opinion, a bad call. I feel like if you were actually going for it at 1-1, probably, in my personal opinion, I probably would have took Mane off. I felt like Mane, I didn't have the best of games from what I saw, but then again,
yeah. Plus,
I mean,
I feel like when
mixed.
A few games towards the start of the season, he brought Mane off and for Origi, which tends to just switch the game up a little bit, which is potentially what you need in like the closing 10 minutes of a game where you're desperate for a goal.
Did need to change it. I'm just annoyed that needing a goal in a game where, I mean, granted he started 2 of the kids, and then his sort of reaction to that is to put on Ox with 10 minutes to go. I feel like when you got Minamino, I mean, potentially Shaqiri and Origi on the bench, I feel like that wasn't it for me. Well, and nothing else changed.
Minamino has played in a midfield like supporting role for Salzburg. Like, it's something he's capable of doing, and when there are the options on the bench, like, I would have certainly either gone with Origi for Mane, or I would have put Minamino on a midfield just for some extra forward play.
I mean,
I feel Ox was just the wrong decision for me.
Well, at that point, I probably would have. I mean, it's like what you were saying. Like, Fabinho and Wijnaldum, I feel like they probably could have. I'm trying to think. Like, Keita was on at that point, wasn't he?
Yeah. Keita came on for Curtis Jones. So you had.
I mean, you probably could have took off Wijnaldum and then put on Minamino in that midfield role, because Burnley didn't. I mean, it was a bit hit and miss, but I feel like Fabinho can really protect that back four, and I feel like he's been great since he's came back for most part, so I wouldn't have been too concerned, because you really needed to change it up, and then you really needed to make an attacking change, and I don't feel like Ox was that move, and no other sort of substitutions were made, so I was annoyed at that myself.
Yeah, I think the pace and creativity from, like, can you imagine having the front three and then Minamino and Keita in midfield? Like, that would have been a lot to handle for, like, tired legs at the back for Burnley.
Yeah, so I'm a bit annoyed. It seemed to be really just didn't go for it, did he?
No.
So to me, that was just accepting the draw, which I was a bit baffled by. But right, yeah, and obviously there was a few late chances, but I felt like Mo felt like as the game went on, he just felt like it's not happening for me today.
Yeah, I think he was just getting frustrated, to be honest. He's got that golden boot in his head now, and it's like every time he misses, or every time even
he wants
he had that one chance, and it's like
and he needs
every time it doesn't go for him, it's more and more annoying, and it gets in your head.
Yeah, because I also believe that Vardy was a fairly lucky boy to escape a red. Was it yesterday or the day before? So so that was. I mean, from what I've read, he was quite lucky to get away with that. And obviously, I don't know whether it was a second yellow or a straight red, but that would have been at least a game, or potentially the next 3 games out if it was a straight red, which would have blown the Golden Boot race wide open. So I mean, I was certainly expecting this to be a good chance for Mo, which is not. I mean, thankfully Arsenal's coming up, and Mo likes Arsenal, so that's okay. So
it's also a chance to keep Aubameyang out the picture in terms of Golden Boot stuff. If he could keep a clean sheet and Mo could get a couple there, then he's just chasing Vardy at that point.
So yeah, a bit annoying, not ideal. And then sort of a bit of a frustrating end. The
only thing I'll say about that ending, the chance Mo had right at the end, I think it was either in the final 2 minutes or final minute. Like, I thought for sure that was a goal. He had all the space around him in the world in the box, and he just hit it straight at the keeper. I even think he probably had the time to control it and place his shot, but it was a first touch shot straight down the middle. And to me, I was like, this is it. And then right after that, it was like, that was it. That was the chance there. We're taking the point here, and that's it.
It's all right. I'd say I don't know who the man of the match was, but who was your man of the match?
Are we talking overall or just Liverpool?
Well, I mean, I think we probably both agree that, I mean, Pope probably deserves man of the match.
Pope absolutely deserved man of the match. If we're just talking best Liverpool player, then I would probably go with Robertson.
I agree. Robbo was my man of the match.
But he had a fantastic game aside from that as well. So
he did, and that's what I was saying. I was probably going to come back to it because, Robbo was my man of the match. Big goal for him. Absolutely delighted, and really, really good to see him back. Probably one of his best games at left back for a while. So I think he was great, especially with a sort of like, well, just off the boil front three ahead of him, and so yeah, absolutely. I think Robbo deserves. I don't actually know who man of the match was.
I think it was Pope. Yeah.
Was it Pope? Yeah. Okay. Well, I can.
Well deserved.
I can well.
Annoyingly.
Okay, so it's currently Saturday. So Wednesday we have a big trip to Arsenal away coming up.
Yeah.
We're going to have to put down some. They play Tottenham away tomorrow, so come back and ask me tomorrow. But right, I'll have a look through. I'll quickly go through their recent results. So the restart, I think, started with a 3-0 away loss to City. Then they lost away to Brighton 2-1. Then they beat Southampton 2-0 away. Then they beat Sheffield United 2-1 to go through in the FA Cup. Then they beat Norwich 4-0 at home. Then they beat Wolves 2-0 away, and then they've this week they drew 1-1 with Leicester at home. So I mean, I wish we could have played them 3 weeks ago, but
they had a really bad restart, to be fair. But despite they've had a decent little run, but it hasn't been like mad goals. It's been all tight games. So
yeah, has been very, very tight games. So feeling if we can keep their defence, well, if our defence can keep them at bay for most points, I mean, I do expect Liverpool to be better. Arsenal will be at home, so they'll be probably more inclined to attack, and I feel like Liverpool certainly have the capabilities to tear them apart on the break. Where's my piece of paper? Here we go. Teams, I feel I'm going with what I wanted, well, what I think I went for today, which was Alisson, normal back four, Trent coming back into it, Robbo coming back into it, no Nico Williams. A midfield of Naby, Fabinho and Wijnaldum. I feel like Wijnaldum was probably taken off with a bit of a rest in mind for Arsenal, in my opinion. And then I'm going to go with the usual front three, but I really, really, really want... I'd love Minamino to get like half an hour. Bring him on. I feel like he will... I really feel like he's a team that... I mean, Arsenal are a team that he could really, really do damage to. The way that they play. Especially their defence.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with that. I just think with this record on the line now, and it's getting tighter and tighter whether it's going to be possible. I think it's going to be strongest team forward for the remaining games now. So I would agree with that. And I want to see, I'd like to see Minamino get a start, but I just don't think the situation allows for it now, which is a situation they've got themselves into in a classic Liverpool fashion. But there we go.
I mean, it's all right. I mean, they won the league, so I'll cut them a bit of slack.
Above and beyond now, but
I know, but I mean, they should be going for it.
I mean, we might not get this opportunity, even if we were to win the league again. You know, the opportunity to get the points record, that's a big ask. So while it's here, I want to go for it. And
absolutely.
So I think strongest team forward. I am going to go with 2-0 on the hopes that we come away with a clean sheet. I think Arsenal are going to go for it, like you said, because not only are they at home, but Aubameyang is also in the race for that golden boot, so he's going to want it. And I'm just hoping that we can tear them apart on the counters with that. Right. So I'm going to go 2-0, and I'm going to go Mane and then Salah.
I'd like to say, I hope you're right. I mean, I'm going to go with 2-2, but I hope it's not. I was torn between 2-2 or 3-2 to Liverpool. I'm going to say 2-2 and hope to God I'm wrong. I'd love to be wrong. I'd love for you to get the points on this. So I want nothing more than for you to get the points on this. I'm going to say 2-2. Who do I think is going to pop up with a goal? I'm going to go a bit mental. I'm going to say Genie, then Van Dijk.
That's going to be an awful game if that's how it goes.
What?
2 scrappy goals, one from midfield, one from a corner, and a 2-2 result.
Hey, now, I mean, I didn't say like Van Dijk could dribble forward, bring the ball, and like blast it in from 30 yards. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, anything's possible.
But I mean, in my view, I can see Wijnaldum and Van Dijk both scoring from corners. So we'll see.
To be fair, I think Bobby normally does well against Arsenal as well. So I don't know.
Let's hope. I mean,
let's just hope it's a good result.
Let's hope. Right. Onwards and upwards. Hopefully, a bigger reaction next game. Bigger performance. Positives to take, but I mean, got to be more clinical when you get those chances.
Yeah. Hopefully they react. I mean, I would hope that they want the record just as much. Just never mention his name ever again. Until England, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully they just react with the whole. They want the record just as much as the fans do, and absolutely smash it for these last 2 games.
I know. Love it. Come on. Right, what's his name for West Ham? Was it Antonio? I can't think of his name. Was it Antonio?
For what?
Either way, today, West Ham player, I feel like he hasn't scored a brace for quite a while. Like a year or more, 2 years or something like that. Never scored a hat-trick. And today against a Norwich team that needed to win, scored 4.
Norwich went down today, didn't they?
Yeah.
Rip.
Norwich. So yeah, never scored a hat-trick, and then against a Norwich team that absolutely had to win, he scored 4. So let's hope that
maybe Mo will get a hat-trick. Maybe that golden boot will spare him on.
Yeah. Come on. 4 for Mo. Why not?
Yeah.
Can happen.
Yeah, why not?
Why not? Absolutely. Come on, Mo. Let's have it.
So tune in Wednesday, innit?
Yeah, Wednesday night.
Yeah, and we'll see you then.
It's live.
Just an update on the points. We both got absolutely nothing from that game.
Yeah, so we're doing well. So shows what we know.
Yeah. We'll see you Wednesday for that one.
Yeah. See you next week.
Matt done it.
Bye for now.